So welcome. My name is Mary Ann Linder, and I am one of the two staff that work on the WEFTEC education program. And today, this session is geared towards authors and speakers at the WEFTEC program. This is kind of your introduction call and opportunity. I will say we have the moderators, facilitators on, and that's great. They are welcome to come so they know the information that we as WEF staff are passing to you. Um, I would ask that everyone put themselves on mute unless you're speaking. That will just help with any sound noise. And then, secondly, it is just me today. Sometimes I have a team member, but today I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my slides and then I'll come back to questions at the end. Just want to give you guys a heads up that we will work a little bit differently today. I won't be able to answer questions while I'm talking. I think it'll work better this way. So let me just check everything. And then I will get us going here, and I appreciate your patience. All right, let's go ahead. I think as soon as I think I'm good, I'm not. And get started on this session today. So by now, you should have received an email with your speaker portal login credentials. That's why you're all here. That's how you found out about it. But I do want to just go over a couple things with that if you have a WEF account, even if you're a non-member, you may have been a member at some point, that means you've come in through WEF's database. And in order to reset your password, we have to default to our customer service. I am not able. Non-members or people, non-members, or if you, who've never been a member, don't have a customer record, haven't attended a WEFTEC, use the username and password always provided in the notifications. That's just a good kind of reminder, but WEF members, please do note I cannot reset your password, and nor can the speaker portal itself. So who is this session for? Again, we're primarily targeting primary authors, invited speakers, and some of you may also be a presenting author. Moderators and facilitators, chairs and vice chairs of the program committee are also welcome and in this session as well. So let's go over some of the key roles. Many of you on this call are what's called a primary author. That means you submitted a WEFTEC abstract or a session. And your main job is to make sure that we get the paper. The way our system is set up, there can only be one primary author, and this person is the person who must submit the final paper. You'll hear me say this numerous times, but co-authors do not have the ability to submit for you, nor does the presenting author. It's only the primary author who will have that. Other tasks for you. Probably the two biggest or three biggest kind of come together, and they all relate to the paper in many ways. So first of all, we're really going to ask that everyone make sure that in the speaker portal, your presentation title is the exact same as your final paper title. That's really important for data integrity, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but I need your help. If you can't figure out how to change it, you can always email speakers@wef.org and we'll take care of helping you. The second thing that I really want to stress is the co-author list. This is critical for two reasons. Number one, you can submit your paper with your final list of co-authors. We don't use that. We use what is in the speaker database and the speaker portal to figure out who your co-authors are. So you need to make sure that in the speaker portal, your co-author list is current. You have until July 15th to make sure it matches. That's also important because that's the list that we use to send a license agreement to. So if you've updated it only on your paper, it won't be of any use for any of us. You must do it in the speaker portal. and update that list. I will at the end direct you to how you can figure out how to update this. I'll quickly show you guys the speaker portal, but we've had a separate training that I'm going to give you guys access to along with this one at the end of this week. And then you're also going to have to input a short summary of your paper. It's meant to be 100 words or less, just real quick. Like, what's this about? If someone is looking in our online proceedings, that way they know. Your paper, your co-author list, and your short summaries are all going to be due on the, oh, sorry about that, on the 15th of July. And those are your kind of deadlines. As a primary author, you will also sign the license agreement, and that will be available to, or need signed by August 1st. So you heard me when I was going over your roles and responsibilities, talking a lot about the paper. And I want to go over a couple things this year. If you're in any role except an invited speaker, papers are required. So if you submitted an abstract or a session proposal, you need to make sure that a paper is submitted by July 15th. The length minimum is 4 pages. You could go up to 30. And we have a template that must be used. It's available in the speaker portal along with a guidance document. And new this year, we're asking you to kind of follow, I think it's APA we decided to use. So I'll show you again at the end in the speaker portal where you're going to find this. But it's really important that you follow this and use this and by July 15th. So if you need to get several layers of approval, perhaps from a client, a utility, whatever, build that time in. Do not send this to them on the 14th of July or the 15th and then need another couple weeks. It's really important that we get that, one second, that we get that by the deadline. So build in your timeline, time for approvals. Uploading this. So July 1st, we're going to allow you guys to start uploading your papers, and June 1st, I'm sorry. June 1st, you guys you'll see this submit paper button appear, and you're going to see, even though it says 23, it'll say 24, license agreements will appear. I will email all of the co-authors that are in the system as of June 1st to say, hey, this is available. Every time we email them throughout the reminders, if you've updated, we'll grab the new ones. So that's why you want to get in there as soon as you can and update that. Just a side note, we get quite a few papers with track changes left on. So please make sure you guys are disabling your track changes before you submit. So I want to go over how you edit your co-authors. You will log in to the speaker portal, which hopefully most of you have done. And you're going to see, I call them like 3 sections of the dashboard. One of them is Speaker Center. Speaker Portal is where you come to find all of the resources, information, where you're going to upload your paper and where you'll sign your license agreement. But this edit speaker is what you need to do sooner than later. If you click edit speaker, it'll take you to a page that looks a little bit like this bottom section does. And then you hit manage speaker / co-author. And that's where you can add and remove your co-authors as need be. The license agreement. This, again, is for anyone, authors, co-authors, invited speakers. As the paper is optional for you, you will still get notifications to sign your license agreement. Just ignore it. If you're not submitting. If you're submitting, please sign. This will come live around June 1st, and I will send out an email that it is live. When you first see it, it's going to have a little red flag and say, incomplete, please take care of me. Once you click that and sign it, it'll say confirmed. In the speaker portal, we do have information, FAQ on what you're signing. I will say the license agreement is a 1-year agreement that we can take your paper and post it and use it. We have rights to it beyond that, but it's an exclusive for 1 year. I want to backtrack because this piggybacks on the license agreement a little bit. For those of you who have submitted to WEFTEC in the past papers, where your paper is going has a much broader reach these days. Our staff who work on our proceedings site, Access Water, have worked very hard to get all of our proceedings Google Scholar searchable. This is a huge to-do. Took a lot of time and energy, but your paper, once it's in our Access Water, is able to be found by Google Scholar. This is another reason that we really want your presentation title to be the same on the paper and what's in the speaker portal, because this all will go and people can discover your papers and it looks much cleaner, nicer if everything is in alignment, including your list of co-authors are the same as when they click on the paper and they get the same list. So we do that. We have a repository database beyond ours, Crossref that these papers go to and that they're searchable. We have universities who have access to Access Water to search papers for research purposes. So there's a lot more legs, so to speak, to the proceedings these days than there used to be. I will post, I'll get to that question. So let's continue. Invited speakers. If you were an invited speaker, that means you did not submit an abstract or session proposal. And we have reached out to you and invited you to join our program. You are not required to submit a paper, but you are highly, highly encouraged. As you have just heard, we have a lot more, I'm going to call them legs for our proceedings, and they get out into the wider world. So it's a great opportunity for you. And often invited speakers are hitting upon hot topics that our attendees really want to know more about. So we really encourage a paper. The other beauty about a paper, no matter what, is slides are meant to be a high level kind of overview. You can use the paper to go into great detail on your data, your methodology. You can put in every chart, graph, table, whatever you want. Whereas on the screen, it's really hard for people to see that. So hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So this is kind of all that invited speakers have to do, and then show up for all the trainings. Co-authors. Co-authors have a very easy life. They just need to sign that license agreement in the speaker portal. That's it. They cannot upload the final paper, and you as the primary author can't send anyone anything or we must have their name accurately in the speaker portal, and they must sign the agreement by August 1st. Another question we often get from authors is, can you tell me which of my co-authors signed the license agreement? That is not easy. I have to go in under each person, look, did they sign? So you're better off just to tell everyone to do it and check in with them. There's no way for you to see if they did in the portal, and it's not easy for me. And depending on bandwidth, it kind of falls as a priority because we keep blasting people to sign. As long as they match your paper, they'll be hearing from us. So sometimes you see this word presenting author when you're in the speaker portal and you're like, what is that? This is kind of the handoff. So right now I'm talking to primary authors, and I will talk to you all as the main focus in invited speakers until July 15th. After we get your paper, we switch and we talk to the presenting authors. presenting authors are the people that are going to be in New Orleans in the rooms giving the presentations. So their tasks are a little bit different. I will say often a primary author is the same as a presenting author, and that's okay. But we do kind of tailor when we talk to each audience. So the main job, I would say, is to get ready for a presenting author for the in-person experience. This includes the draft of your presentation slides and your final. Making sure an introduction and a bio is in the speaker portal. We as WEF staff create custom reports for each of the moderators and facilitators with your bios. If you haven't entered it, they don't get it. So that's really helpful for you to do. You also will have the ability to switch out who is presenting. So say I'm to present and all of a sudden I can't, I have the power as a presenting author to go in and change out who is speaking. Our rule on that is generally they need to have been a co-author at the very least to get to that speaking role, because they know the most about the project. As a presenting author, we also want you to attend a pre-WEFTEC briefing. Those are in your speaker packet, the deadlines, and we have 2 dates. You don't need to attend both. You just need to attend one of them. And a note, you must upload a draft by September 23rd. For those of you who have been at WEFTEC in the past, we're changing speaker check-in a little bit. And the main thing we really need to see is a presentation draft in the system to know that everything's okay. Without that, it just sort of falls apart and we don't know if you're coming or not. So giving a draft of your presentation by the 23rd lets your moderator facilitator know you're serious, everything's going well, and you will be on site. I mentioned that sometimes you may need to, as presenting author, switch who is speaking. And this gets left on for quite a while. And you will come here to edit speaker. So this is that same little fancy little, I used to call them flip cards because they flip, they don't anymore. It says speaker, come to edit speaker. Same steps as the co-author, but you'll just choose a different role and make the adjustment. Again, you're going to need to upload your introduction and photo. Invited speakers, you will do this. Please keep your introduction to 50 or to 100 words or less. It should be pretty quick, fast. Photos, please don't put placeholder photos in there. We all love our pets. I love my dog, but the problem is the photos sometimes, if we can get it working, they will go to the mobile app. So instead of you, they're going to see your dog or a background scene. So you want to make sure you've got the correct photo in there. And along with this, sorry, I want to say something about contact information. And I may address this later, but it is super important this year. Edit contact information. Some of you are going to go log in and you're going to notice that you don't have a company associated with you. You have nothing. We have about 300 of those right now. I am asking that one of the first things you do is you go into edit contact info. Please verify that your company is in there. A couple of things. And once you do this, it shouldn't need done again. But make sure your company is in there the way you're marketing or your whoever it is wants it seen. Inevitably, I hear from a representative of the company and they're like, well, some of our people have not put it the way we want it to appear. That is upon you to fix. We don't fix it. There's no fast, easy way. So please go in and make sure. I saw John Willis on here. I'm going to pick on him. Maybe it says B and C. That should be Brown and Caldwell by their terms. So make sure you put it in there the way you know your company wants it seen. You can also add your cell phone number, which is really helpful for on-site issues for your moderators and facilitators. But please do go in and check that. the contact information will not go back to our membership database. It just sort of stays in the speaker one. So it's one time this year, go in and fix it up. So these were the pre-WEFTEC briefings that I mentioned. Everyone should attend one of these. Again, you just need to pick one of two. It's September 18th at 3 or September 19th at 11. In this guidance documents, you will find the link to the pre-WEFTEC briefings. So you can go ahead and register and get it on your calendar. Registration is now open. Believe it or not, I know this is shocking, but all presenters, moderators, facilitators, anyone who wants a technical session needs to pay to register. And you need full conference. That's the other thing. If you do expo only, that will not get you access to the technical sessions. I will say WEF members receive the best rates, so consider that in what you do. And if you're looking to save money, register before July 12th. The super saver rate is before then, and it is a significant discount if you go ahead and register early. So I recommend, if you're a little bit worried, register before July 12th and remember to be a WEF member. But please do register expo only. I cannot guarantee that you will get into the technical sessions. If I have anyone on here from an exhibiting company, you get access as an exhibitor. There's a difference between expo only and exhibitors. Expo only are the people that come to see the exhibition and register as expo only. So exhibitors get access as part of your badges. Everyone else just needs full conference. So that's my little spiel. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to answer a question or two, and I am going to then also show you guys something. So let me, I have a question about the link for the speaker portal. I'm going to put it in while I work to get the site up. For anyone who needs it, here is the link to the speaker portal. And then there's a couple questions that I'll go ahead and answer, and then I'll go show you guys. Conference papers, free access for non-members. So Access Water, when you attend WEFTEC, if you're an exhibitor or full conference, regardless of membership status, you get access to the year you attend WEFTEC for 1 year. You have access for 1 year. After that, it goes into the Access Water subscription services. So it doesn't matter so much about your membership. It's about what type of registration you have. The second question was, can we have 3 presenters? I will be honest, it's really tough to do 3. Our system is built for 2 because sometimes you have as little as 10 minutes. And by the time you transition, you introduce every person, you're down to like 2 minutes to speak, if you're lucky, per person. So you need to look at how long your slot is and then decide, can we realistically do this? I would suggest maybe if you want to give someone kudos, you point them out and just say, if you have extra questions at the end, talk to them. Think about how you want to do that. Because again, you may have as little as 10 minutes or you may have longer, and 3 people is going to get tricky. If you go with more than the 2, you're going to want to add the third person's bio in with someone else, or try to.
So it's possible, right? It's not prohibited.
Yeah. I'm just going to, and I also say that the third person's name will not appear in the mobile app. We can do 2.
Okay.
So you might want to think that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have a question about the interactive panels and submitting presentations or paper. Yes, it doesn't matter the type of session, you still need a paper. And Kristen, if you want to reach out to me at, I'm going to put it in here. Email me about your particular session. I'll look. Panels are supposed to be set as such, and there's just a little bit of intricacies with that. So I'll go over for you. So another question about booking hotel. You can book your hotel anywhere. We have a large block in New Orleans, and I will say probably the close hotels sell out first. So you just book wherever you want and whenever you want. Make it based upon your travel, completely up to you. Iris, thank you for her point. So Iris noticed that the APA guidance is not matching the references in the template. I would use the template not in the nitty-gritty of how to do the references, but the way that we say to do the title, the co-authors, the sectioning. You will notice very particular footers. Don't change that. Don't add your own footer. Don't add your own header to it. Follow that as much as you can. And where references are, go ahead and use the APA. I will work to get that fixed, and I apologize, but we're trying to get everything up quickly. So I'm going to take a minute.
One comment about the reference, this is Iris, is that in the reference guide, they have a double space between all the lines. And in the template, you don't have, you have a double space between the reference, but inside the reference is one line. Again,
Okay.
that could save some space if we need the space for the 30 pages. But, I don't know, those little change and, if you want to, and then how they ask to refer, for example, a citation from WEFTEC is different as well. But anyway, yes, that is
Okay,
some of
yeah,
the
and
things
I'll work.
I
I'll
was
see if I can
thinking
get
which
this.
way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to get the staff member to update it. But we did create the template a couple years ago because we would say to people, do this, do that with the headers, which is really like some of the most important. Let me say, I think the most important part is the header and footer the way it is on the template. The way we've done the title of your paper, the co-authors. After that, it's a little less critical, other than it's in PDF. It doesn't have track changes on because you'd be surprised how many of those we get. And it doesn't have comments left hiding somewhere. And it flows nicely. So go through it. So I will say that. That's kind of my big thoughts. And I'm just trying to get in. Bear with me. I'm almost done. Yeah, I hope I have. Let me just check. I'm hoping I've got something assigned. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna show what happens when you log on. So this is the first, as if I impersonated me. So now you guys can hopefully see my screen. This is the contact information. Please verify your company. It may be blank, and this will impact how it appears in the mobile app. So you want it accurate so people can really find you. You do not need a secondary email anymore, but I really do encourage you guys to put in your mobile phone, and it's going to want something here. And country, I don't know why it's not remembering me. Then you hit save. It's probably going to take me through. Yep. So this is your introduction. I'm just going to do some steps. It's not gonna. Now, I'm going to do something that I don't want you guys to do. Please don't. I'm just trying to get through this portion really fast. Well, actually, I do have a headshot. Then you hit save. and it's thinking about it. Okay. And then you can skip. I do need a few resumes in for continuing ed, but it's not required. The deadline should have been off. I'm just doing whatever. Hopefully you guys have all. Oh, and I went through all that and I don't have the speaker portal. Huh, sorry. All right, bear with me. One more second. John Willis, I hope it's okay. I'm gonna go in as you in 1 second, just to show where you can find materials. I appreciate your patience with me today. I'm gonna impersonate John. So you can see John has already updated everything. If you click on dashboard, this is what I'm talking about. And then you come dashboard, edit speaker. This is where you're going to go change if you want to add a second presenter with you or your co-authors. Please remember, ideally, a second presenter should also be a co-author on the paper. And you just come here to manage speaker co-author, and then you make your adjustments. I don't want to change. We have step-by-step instructions right here in red for you guys to do that. Then I'm going to go into speaker portal. And I just want to go through a couple things. These documents are very important and very helpful. You all should have downloaded the author and invited speaker guide. If you click on this, it walks you through all the deadlines, all the trainings, everything. Very important, please download it. If you have an interactive technical session, I highly recommend you download this. Here is your paper guidance document, your paper templates, and the APA style reference guide. License agreement FAQ, and I will be adding a PowerPoint template in the next couple weeks for you guys to use if you want. But these documents are all for you and meant to help you throughout the process. The trainings today, and we also had one on using this system, I will post those in a SharePoint folder. I will do that later in the week. Some of you that'll work beautifully. A few of you will have to just email speakers@wef.org for access, and we have to give you a little bit different way to get access. But I will put the trainings in a slightly different slot for you. And you can always click on anything red. So I will say presented during the session. If you click on this, you're going to find the session information. What type of session? This is an interactive session. And it'll give you an outline of what that interaction looks like and what all's happening in the session. So that's just a quick overview. I will have the detailed training posted for you guys by the end of the week. So couple quick questions, and then I'll see if there are any others. So how to register for the calls and future info sessions for moderators, facilitators. Sure, all of those are within the guidance documents. Speaker ones are in here. I will quickly show you guys. Hopefully it is here. And there are various points throughout. If you go through and you look, we always have, here's like the register links for the pre-WEFTEC briefings. Same thing happens with the facilitators and moderator guidelines. Moderators are for traditional technical sessions and facilitators are for interactive. So you guys can find everything in these guidance documents there. Any trainings we always record. I will put them in the exact same folder, one folder, and so you guys can go in and just see them. And I always email afterwards. I did not email out the speaker portal one, but I will. We have a question on where can I get sample presentation slides? So I will put the presentation templates that we are going to be able to offer up shortly, probably in the next week or two. And then I will also direct you guys to a resource with presentation tips, tricks, kind of best practices. And I will have those available also in the next couple of weeks. And it will all be right here in this speaker portal. We're going to put it all underneath the presentation template section to keep everything in one central place for you all. Just as a note, for those of you who are presenting authors and invited speakers, even here is where you're going to get the link to upload your presentation in late August. It'll just appear, it'll say upload presentation. So this site really is your one-stop shopping, and you need to make sure you're familiar and able to get around it. I think that's it. Are there any other questions? And let me say this, I think this is helpful. If you guys ever get stuck and you're trying to do something, someone just mentioned that they're trying to add their co-author as a co-presenter. Email speakers@wef.org and we will work to help you. I will say right now I'm a little bit slower. It is just me for the next 2 weeks. So emailing and getting things done is a little bit slower, but I will work to get it done. And we're hoping to have another person on part-time to help us shortly. So there will be multiple people. Just email. I'm going to remind you guys, it's speakers@wef.org, and I or someone on my team will help you. It just may take us a couple days. So on that note, like if you want to change your co-authors, please don't email July 15th or even the 13th in a panic. Think about it in advance, do it in advance, and it gives all of us time to kind of answer those questions. Are there any other questions? Well, if not, I will say thank you. We're super excited for WEFTEC this year. Registration is open, as is housing or hotels. I will also say we offer workshops at WEFTEC, and some of them will actually, in the last year, everyone sold out. So if you're interested in a specific workshop to add to your WEFTEC experience, please do register for those nice and early. And if you have any other questions as you go through this process, we are here as staff to help you because we know you guys are doing a lot for the water industry and we greatly appreciate your time and effort. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day and we will be in touch. Thank you.